Welcome to our first New Comic Book Day video for Wednesday, April the 7th, 2021 from Close Encounters of the Nerd Kind. From now and every Wednesday, we'll be going through all the comics which are being released that week. We'll also name our Comic of the Week, which we'll follow through the coming months in our SPEC OPS feature, which will be available tomorrow and every Thursday. This will showcase our thoughts on what comics you should invest in and the latest speculation opportunities. As always, if this is your first time on the channel, make sure to check out our other videos, and if you are nerds like us, then hit the like, subscribe and ring the bell to stay nerdified.
So up first we have DC Comics. Good old Detective Comics, and what better place to start than with the great detective himself, Batman. This week we have the first issue of a 4-part limited series called Batman Second Son. This is based on the future state Batman we saw a few weeks ago and features the full origin story of Tim Fox. Also, on the subject of the Dark Knight, we have Batman number 107. The latest in the ongoing series from James Tynion. This book features a backup story around the Ghostmaker, a load of first appearances. This book also features the entrance of a new gang in Gotham, the Unsanity Collective. Dumb name, but might be worth a look. Elsewhere from DC, we have Swamp Thing number 2, which will feature the first appearance of the Pale Wanderer. Last but not least, we have Crime Syndicate number 2, featuring the classic N3rd characters. This book will feature the origin of Owlman, if you actually cared about that. And now, on to Marvel.
And we'll start off with King in Black, the massive Marvel crossover event with Maestros Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman. We've seen Symbiote Avengers, a Symbiote Santa Claus, Symbiote Dragons. This has been a roller coaster ride. This is now all coming to conclusion with Planet of the Symbiotes 3, King in Black 5 and Venom 34, which will be the final tie-in and will set the stage for Venom 200 and what comes after that for our beloved symbiote. This will also be Donny Cates' final story in this comic run. We will also see Avengers 44 by Jason Aaron, and this will debut a new Phoenix. Who that Phoenix is, we do not know, but potentially a good pickup for a new first appearance. And the final Marvel book we'll be talking about today is the Star Wars High Republic number 4. This story is following Jedi Keeve Trennis as she and her fellow Jedi face new foes and ones which we have never seen the like of in the Star Wars universe. This issue is going to tell the origin story of Drengir, who are a plant-based organism hive mind and one of the main antagonists in the High Republic era. This story is part of a massive Star Wars comic and book crossover event, which is set in High Republic era, 2 centuries prior to the Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And as part of this crossover event, we'll also see Star Wars High Republic Adventures number 3. This is from IDW Publishing, and it will follow a group of Padwans travelling the galaxy who are all being mentored by the Jedi Master Yoda. And in this issue, we see the first appearance of Marshawn Rowe, who is the leader of the Nihil Marauders. Now we've spoken about the big two, let's talk about the best of the rest.
So, staying on the theme of IDW, this week they are releasing Transformers 84, a 100-page giant-sized special featuring a number of reprints from their Secrets and Lies series. Coming out from Scout this week is Locust number 1, the latest in a long stream of post-apocalyptic comic epics. This one, however, is a little bit different because mankind was wiped out because they were all turned into locusts, and apparently the survivors are having a difficult time dealing with that. And over at Bad Idea, we're seeing Tankers number 1. Not a lot really known about this project, but from some of the concept art and previews we've seen, there's going to be mechs, there's going to be dinosaurs, there's going to be action, so probably worth checking out at least the first issue. If you're a kaiju fan and you're looking forward to the Godzilla vs Kong film, you'll want to pick up the Legendary Comics prequels, Kingdom Kong and Godzilla Dominion. Great names, great titles for the stories. Definitely looking forward to that film. May pick this up to get a little bit of background before I go in there. The pop culture phenomenon Magic the Gathering sees another revival over at Boom, with the latest series written by Jed MacKay with art by Ig Guerra. If you are into this tabletop trading card game, definitely go ahead and check this out. Meanwhile, over at horror specialists Heavy Metal, The Rise #1 is released this week, which is a prequel to Night of the Living Dead. Apparently we will find out the long-held secret of what started the zombie apocalypse in this fantastic series of films directed by, of course, George A. Romero. And an interesting little bit of information, this comic is actually written by his son, George C. Romero. So definitely check that out if you are a fan of the classic horror films like me. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. And finally, for today's first ever new comic book day, we have Geiger #1, the latest series launched over at Image Comics, and interestingly enough, this is actually written by Jeff Johns, and I cannot remember him doing a lot of writing outside of the DC universe, whether it's films or comics. So this is definitely something to pick up and have a look at. The storyline sounds fantastic. Again, shock, post-apocalyptic nuclear war zone. And the story will follow the titular character Geiger as he battles across a desolate radioactive wasteland battling desperate outlaws. Sounds very similar to the Fallout games, and I was a big fan of those, so very much looking forward to seeing what Jeff Johns has to offer with his first creator-owned piece. And in fact, that is going to be our Comic of the Week.
Comic of the Week! And that's the end of our first ever new comic book day video. As Neil mentioned, our comic of the week is Geiger 1 by the amazing Jeff Johns. Really looking forward to reading that. And if you've picked up any of these comics this week, please let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and ring the bell to stay
Nerdified!